So let's see, how are you feeling?
Good.
Third trimester?
Yes.
Okay. So sit on the edge of the chair and move the buttock flesh back. Sit up really tall. You can hold the back of the chair and work your way up to the top of the back of the chair, but only in so long as the shoulders can roll back. So not to let the shoulders roll forward. And then hold the back of the chair with your right hand, back of the seat with your right hand, left hand, come to the outer knee and get a rotation. With your left hand, pull your outer right knee forward toward the camera, but then with your back hand, your right hand, pull upward and then extend upward through the arms, pull your elbows apart, and then turn the shoulders. It's really about the shoulders, not the hips. And then release. Inhale, exhale. Hold the back of the chair with your left hand. With your right hand, hold the outer knee and kind of pull the outer knee forward. And then with your left hand, pull up on the hand. And then reach both elbows away from each other. And these arm actions should help to stabilize the pelvis, stabilize the legs, as well as mobilize the shoulders. That's a lot of what we're doing in yoga, is stabilizing somewhere, mobilizing somewhere. Stabilizing somewhere in order to mobilize somewhere, and vice versa. And release one more time. Inhale, exhale, twisting to the right. So this is chair, a version of chair, part of Vajrasana. And then coming back to center, exhale, go to the other side. On each inhale, can you feel yourself getting taller? On each exhale, pull your elbows apart and turn the shoulders a little bit more. This is really good for the upper back because the spine gets sore from holding the weight of the growing uterus, the growing baby. And then release. Holding onto the back of the chair. Scoot back a little bit on the seat. Take your feet wider and then come forward to spread the chest open. This is a forward bending positions like this, kind of concave back forward bending positions are nice for the uterus because the uterus gets to kind of hang a little bit. And so get space for the baby. And then release. All right, let's do some standing poses with the chair. So you can have a chair against the wall. I'm not going to have I guess I could use my table here as my wall. So Adho Mukha Svanasana, so that the chair doesn't slide. And of course, during pregnancy, you could use support. You could use as much support as you wish, like a bolster for the head. Now we're going to add a few more poses in here. So bend your right leg and step your right foot under the chair. And then pull up and back into Parsvottanasana. So for pregnancy, you can have your feet a little wider than, normally, classically, Parsvottanasana would be like standing on a balance beam with feet of the same length. But during pregnancy, you can have the feet wider. So the right foot to the outside, the left foot a little bit out also. Okay, so that there's space for the uterus. And then rotating the hips, extend the trunk forward. Now from here, bend the right leg and come into Parshva Konasana. Elbow on the knee, palm on the chair. So Parshva Konasana, So rotating the pelvis around the femur head. And then come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then step your left foot forward. Parsvottanasana. Both legs straight on the left side. And remember, you can widen your feet a little bit. Extending the trunk, extending the backs of the legs. Turn the hips to face the chair. Then bend the left leg into a square. Bring the elbow to the knee, the top of the chair, and come into Parshva, side angle pose. Of course, it's fine to have your chair on a mat and your feet on a mat if you feel like you're slipping. But if your floor is sticky enough, then you don't have to. So it's up to you. So turning the femur in the hip socket a number of different ways. Come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take Parsvottanasana again, left foot forward. And get that rotation of the pelvis. The femur, and now during pregnancy, it's common for the, all the joints get kind of loose. You have the hormone relaxin, especially in the third trimester, and it kind of loosens the ligaments of all your joints to prepare the pelvis to extend to give birth, which is a good thing, but not such a good thing in terms of just going about your everyday life. It might cause some aches and pains having that looseness. So we have to balance that looseness with stability. Now bend your right leg, Parsvottanasana, side angle. Now, keep your right hand on the chair, step your right foot 12 inches away from the chair. Come up and step your right foot 12 inches away from the chair. Then lift up into Ardha Chandrasana. You can bring your elbow to the seat of the chair, or put your elbow on a bolster on the chair. Okay, so, and then you can use your other hand, your left hand, at the top of the chair for stability, or at a wall if you have a wall nearby. So, do whatever you need to in order to create stability. Yeah, you can also have support for the lifted legs, so lots of different ways that you can support this pose. Yes, foot at the wall is good. Good. So this is one of the best poses for pregnancy, actually, because it creates a kind of a lightness in the abdominal region, which tends to feel heavy during pregnancy for obvious reasons. And then come on down, step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Try the other side. So now the left foot comes forward to Parsvottanasana. Parsvottanasana, then Parshvakonasana. So Parshvakonasana prepares the hips for Ardha Chandrasana, right? Good. Then you can keep your elbow on the bolster, step your foot away from the chair. Step your foot away from the chair, and then launch. You could use the top hand on the chair like this, or at the wall. You could support your lifted leg with another chair or with the wall. All those options are available to you. I'm sorry I'm not there to individually assist. You just have to make do right now. The governor did announce that she's giving permission on February 1st to reopen yoga studios, but I don't think we're going to do that. It's still the dead of winter. It's still difficult to air out, to have adequate ventilation. So anyway, people will still be online for a little while. Okay, and then come on down and step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, nice work. And then now come up. Take Prasarita Padottanasana. While you're there, may as well do Prasarita Padottanasana. You know, the baby loves these poses where the uterus gets to hang, because then it feels less crowded and they can move about more easily. Maybe you've been feeling a lot of the movement of the fetus. It's always a lot of fun to experience that. And these positions also help to get the baby in a good position as you prepare for birth. Of course, the baby's still moving around a lot. It's not going to be until the last few weeks that the baby is more set in place. Even so, they can still move around the last minute. Okay, and then come on up, heel toe in, and then all the way up. Let's do some seated poses. So have a blanket. And have it in a thick fold, like this. Quite a thick fold on the chair. And then have a seat on the blanket. All right? So that the knees are under the hips. The knees are lower than the hips. And move the right flesh back. Hold the inside of the right knee, and then bring the leg up into like a Janu Shirshasana. And then lengthen out to the inner knee, inner thigh, extend out to the opposite leg. And you might need to inch over a little bit so that that leg is not caught on the side of the chair. And so this is kind of like Upavishta Janu Shirshasana. Press your hand, turn your palm to face the camera, and then press the hand into the inner knee as you turn your trunk to face the straight leg. And turn the pelvis around, turn the pelvis over the right femur head. And turn the abdomen, turn the chest, turn the shoulders, everything. And then come on back. Second side. Take your left leg into a Janu Shirshasana position. Of course, if you want padding, that's perfectly fine. And then stretch the other leg out to the side. First, push your hands into the back of the chair and sit up really tall. Roll your shoulders back. Lengthen the sternum and bottom top. And then rotate. Take your hand to the inner knee. Press the back of your hand into the knee and rotate the pelvis. The pelvis isn't going to turn very much, but have a feeling of that pelvis rolling over the femur. In other words, so that the femur is more externally rotated. The head of the femur is externally rotated in the hip socket. And then turn the abdomen, turn the ribcage, turn the shoulders. Lifting the uterus, turning the uterus and the entire spine. Okay, come back to center and then release. Marichyasana now. So the right leg, the heel is kind of coming to the corner of the chair. Now, if that is feeling compressed for you, then you can add a second blanket or sit on a block instead, okay? And then let's stretch this leg out. I gotta scoot over just a little bit. And then reach up, inhale with the right arm, exhale. Now the elbow comes into the knee. It's kind of like what the hand was doing earlier. The elbow comes into the knee, but the knee presses into the elbow. So don't let the elbow overtake the knee. Meet the elbow with the knee and then rotate to your left. Turn your trunk to the left. Keep plugging the femur head of the straight leg, both legs actually, into the hip sockets as you lengthen through the inner thighs, inner heel of the straight leg. And rotate the shoulders, get the mobility of the spine, the trunk, the shoulders, the rib cage, and then release. In the third trimester, you really get to kind of feel that the baby is doing the poses with you, you know? And so the fetus is having an experience of movement. And so I always tell our prenatal students, I really believe that when moms do yoga, extend the right leg, the baby is really smart because the baby's getting a lot of stimulation. You know, they're getting a lot of like neural stimulation in the practice of yoga. Reach up. It's like they're doing the poses with you, and then turn, and then press, and then press the knee into the elbow into the knee. And so here, the baby is turning, getting a little twist also. And so it's, not only is it expanding your own movement options, movement possibilities, and thus your mental options, your mental possibilities and emotional, but it's also stimulating the baby and expanding their sense of movement. And turn and move. So really it's about resilience, you know, like really as we expand our options, we're developing resilience. Let's repeat Janu Shirshasana. Extend the leg. And then inhale, exhale, rotate. First of all, let's turn toward the bent leg. Turn toward the bent leg because that's a different action in the pelvis, in the abdomen, in the spine. Also beneficial. And then turn away. Go ahead and turn the other way now. And you can hold on to your outer. Actually, I think this is better to have the hand into the inner knee because then you have something to push into, which is, I think, more effective than pulling in this pose. And now, if you weren't pregnant, you could come further. You know, you could reach for your foot even, but not to do that during pregnancy. Okay, release. And then the left leg in Janu Shirshasana. And then right leg straight. First turn toward the bent leg and rotate. See that you're accessing the entire length of the spine. From the tailbone all the way to the crown. And then rotate to the other side. Press your hand into your inner thigh. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. We've talked, in other classes, we've talked about the head, we've talked about the eyes. So you here also have the option of really using your eyes to enhance the experience of the twist by looking over your right shoulder. And then come back to center. And release. Marichyasana. Right leg again. Extending the, and well, first just sit up really tall. Descend the right groin. And then bring your elbow to the inside of the knee. So if you weren't pregnant, you could do like a Marichyasana 3, but that's not recommended during pregnancy because it's too much compression on the uterus. So here, Marichyasana 1 is far better. Elbow to the knee, extend to the heel. So from an Iyengar yoga point of view, yoga during pregnancy is not just, you know, to stay fit, but it's really about what's going to support the pregnancy. What poses support the pregnancy? The same way during menstruation and then release. during menstruation, we're thinking about what causes support menstruation. It's not just what is tolerable during menstruation, but what's going to support menstruation. So first sit up tall, get really tall, and then deep in the left groin descending so that the entire circumference of the left thigh is down into the blanket. Then reach out, exhale, twist, go to the right side now, elbow into the knee, push a little bit more knee into the elbow. Yeah, and then lengthen through the whole left side of the trunk, upward. Marichyasana. Okay. And then release. And then come on. So turn around. I'm going to show you here at my table. You could use a wall. So then the legs are wide and then coming forward onto the table. Okay? So not to go down very low. Don't go to the floor or to blocks, but keep your hands pretty high so that there's a lot of space for the uterus. Now, if you're not pregnant, you can go all the way to the floor. But during pregnancy, don't go so far. Yes, that table works. Good. Good. Yeah. So getting the depth of the groin, but also the length of the sides of the waist and the abdomen. Lots of space for the abdomen and the uterus. And of course, when you do this on your own, you can use head support, but we're not going to stay long. But you can remember that when you do this on your own, you can use support. Okay, up you come. So now, let's do a little Chatush and Setubandha. That's very nice during pregnancy. I'm going to rearrange my room slightly so that you can get my side view here. And I'll turn my camera this way. Okay, so the chair will go here against the wall. The chair will go against the wall, and then let's have a bolster. Let's see. I think I would rather have blankets because I think the bolster will be a little too round. So let's have a 4-fold mat and then blankets, at least 3 blankets, okay? So I have a good height here, and then I lie down with my feet on the chair and I'm holding on to the legs of the chair. The shoulders are on the blanket, the head is on the floor. The feet can be up on the bars of the chair and then lifting up, okay? And get nice and tall through the trunk, roll your shoulders under. You can come up and down a few times. You can make sure you're not too far from the chair, not too close to the chair, but using the support under the shoulders to get more chest opening. Now, you could come into chair Savasana here also. I'll give you that option. I'm not going to mandate it because, there's some, you might have to play around with the distance and stuff. And we don't have very much time, but yeah, so go up and down, Chatush Padasana. Good. Yeah, and keep lifting up the front of the hips, lengthening through the front of the thighs. The front of the thighs, the front groins get kind of short during pregnancy because there's a slight anterior tilt of the pelvis in order to accommodate the growing uterus. So then it takes more effort to lengthen the front groins, front thighs. Go up and down a few times on your own. You could also experiment with where you place your feet. You might be able to get a little more leverage if your feet are on the bars of the chair rather than the seat of the chair. You could try. Keep your shoulders on the blankets. Make sure your shoulders are not sliding off the blankets. Now this last time, if you want, you could try straightening your legs, heels at the wall in Sarvangasana. You have to get nice and close into the chair. Nice and close in. Shoulders on the blankets. And then if you can catch your tailbone on the chair, you might be able to come into Sarvangasana. Now, if it feels too tender or too sore, then don't force it. Don't force it. Yes. Yeah. So this is another way of getting into Sarvangasana. And then, of course, as the pregnancy progresses, you could build up more height. You could build up more height under the shoulders, then so that it's less of an angle. You know, you can see what is going to be most useful for you. But inversions are incredibly useful, actually, and very much recommended during pregnancy. And it goes against what some people who are not familiar with yoga might think. And even doctors who are not at all familiar with yoga might say that it's contraindicated. But from an Iyengar yoga standpoint, inversions are incredibly useful. One of the reasons is for hormonal balance. And then come down and rest. You can rest your legs on the chair. And if you prefer, you can lie on your side. So one way that you could use the chair in Shavasana is is the top leg on the chair. The top leg can be supported on the chair, and that might be comfortable for folks. See, I'm lying on my side with the top leg on the chair. Okay. So you can see how that feels. Okay. You can stay, all right? You can stay as long as you wish. And I will end the meeting, but yeah, you can come out whenever you want to. All right, have a wonderful day and see you soon. See you later.